Hello and welcome to another episode of Pipples, Parolees, and a Producer. My name is Billy Cooper. I am the executive producer and showrunner of Pipples and Parolees. I am joined, as always, by Miss Tia Torres, owner-operator of Villalobos Rescue Center and lead talent for Pipples and Parolees. I know that drives you crazy, Tia. Sorry, but I got to do it.
Do you remember? Do you memorize that, or are you reading that?
No, that's in my head. I got it.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
And we are joined by a very special guest, Mr. Christopher Bennett, a.k.a. Bully the Kid. We welcome you, Bully, to Pipples, Parolees, and a Producer. Thank you for coming all the way from the ATL, as they call it, right? Isn't that what they...
Oh my God! Listen to Billy trying to be all like
I'm trying
super
to be cool.
The ATL.
I have to be cool. Bully, by the way, like, I mean, we will talk a little bit at length about how we all know Bully and what all this went through. But, I strived really hard to be cool for Bully. Like, that was my goal.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad you didn't say Hotlanta. You know what I'm saying? You kept it pretty mellow. You didn't go with Hotlanta, home of Magic City and the other gentlemen clubs that we're famous for. So thank you.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Later conversation. He doesn't go to those kind of clubs.
All right. Well, okay. All right. So before we get into the episode, let's talk a little bit about Bully and Tia and how you guys met and how you guys know each other and the history Bully has with the show and a little bit of the history of Animal Planet and, all that kind of good stuff. So take us, so let's just jump back in the Wayback Machine. So Bully, how did you and Tia originally meet, and what, or actually for the people that don't know, what do you do for a living? Like, what is your profession?
You know what? I would really not like to say that on camera. My ex-wife may be listening. But since the divorce proceedings are final, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm pretty much just a dog aficionado, man. I do a lot of different things. I have a couple different businesses in dogs. I'm the voice of what's called the Bully World, which is a small, niche little place full of bully breeds. Of course, my favorite, American Pit Bull Terriers, American Bullies, French Bulldogs, Bulldogs. Anything with bully in it, I am there. I'm no longer the kid. As you can see, the little bit of gray sneaking past my Just for Men hair dye. I've kind of moved on. Beyond that point.
So is it just now Bully?
You know what? It's just Bully the Kid. BTK is something that's frowned upon in the Midwest.
BTK from the ATL. See,
Jethro, shut up.
See, Jethro's one of my many fans. Y'all remember the Arsenio Hall days? That's why I was feeling right at home when Jethro toned in there. But no, you know what? I've done a lot of different things with dogs, from being an animal cruelty investigator to being the voice of the bully world. I've been a writer for Atomic Dog magazine and an advocate, I like to think, for the breeds that need a voice. And in that career, I've been able to meet wonderful people, one of which none higher than Miss Tia Torres. Many, many years ago. I hate to date myself as 2022, but I think I met
you could just say many, not many. Just go with many.
Many. Okay, just many years ago. Unlike most people think, I was not a parolee. She didn't come save me from any cell block. I pretty much was, not that guy. But I met her actually doing what we're doing now, something similar. I was doing a radio show. We invited her on at the time, biggest guest I ever had. She came on and she loved the name Bully the Kid. She loved the Western thing, and it was an easy thing for her to remember. And I remember her saying, that name is great. And lo and behold, later on, that name served me well. I can't just get by with being this pretty. So I believe that name was what helped me get on Animal Planet and do other things. But it's a hard name to forget. And she was the first person that told me that. She said, that name is going to take you far. And
a lot of people don't understand that it is like a play on like Billy the Kid. And I loved like all the old Western stuff, so I thought it was a really cool name.
And at the time, Bully, you were also you were an MC, and there were lots of. I mean, we've talked a little bit about Bully shows before on the Tia. This is sort of in season 2 is when the Bully show thing started to make appearances in the episodes of Pipples and Parolees. And Bully, you were sort of like the person that was the host when people would go. They'd have contests and competitions and fundraising and all that kind of stuff. That was sort of your bread and butter for quite a while, right?
Oh, it was. It definitely was. So I got to, back then, it's a lot different than now. The shows were extravagant. They were major come out events where people would come out and there would be hundreds, thousands of dogs there. And Tia, unlike a lot of the rescue community, Tia never shunned anyone. I think she always identified where there was going to be an issue. And she was very forward thinking about, hey, they need someone not to tell them necessarily no, but to tell them what they're doing and how to do it right. She was always very welcome in that community because of the way she dealt it, or no nonsense. She didn't sugarcoat anything, but she wasn't out there, with pickets and pitchforks and fires and trying to burn them down. She really said, hey, I don't agree with it. One of my favorite stories about Tia was she was at an event, and I want to say it was the last one. And I told people we lost a major advocate. It was pouring down rain, and everybody was worried about themselves, their shoes, their clothes, what they look like. And the dogs were in crates, and they were out in the rain. Yep. And I wasn't there.
I remember that. They were outside. You're right. Yeah.
Yep. And I wasn't there, but I get a call and I said, Tia lost it. And I said, whoa. Then Tia get a call from Tia. She said, this is utter BS. Like, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You guys claim to love these dogs and act like you love those dogs. And it is an image that I will forever remember, getting that call and then getting videos and pictures sent to me. And that was probably the one time I was really, really ashamed of something I was a part of. But the bully community in itself really, really loves Tia Torres, and they had a lot of respect for her to this day. I'll be somewhere and someone will have seen the 13 seconds of my time on Pit Bulls and Parolees and say, hey, aren't you that guy? I said, yeah, I am. Yeah.
Well,
I am.
Okay.
But the thing is, I went to these shows. I mean, it's a two-part thing where you get the rescue community that say, okay, well, these breeders need to step up and assume some responsibility and help these rescues if they're going to be breeding dogs for money. So when I would go to these events, that's what they did. They stepped up, and it was always a fundraiser. But the other thing too is I went to these events as a dog lover. I didn't go there as a rescue person. I wasn't there as a breeder. I love dogs. I love watching the Westminster Dog Show, so that's why I enjoyed going. It's just, I just love dogs.
And Bully, and then ultimately we can talk a little bit about your journey on the show, and then it sort of led to other things. You and I had many adventures in and around the South. So, Bully was on this episode that we're going to talk about, and then you made appearances here and there, and that actually led to Animal Planet. And we approached. So Tia had this idea to do a show with you. We then put it together just as a little inside information for everybody listening at home or watching at home. We did what was called a presentation where we followed Bully. We said, this is Bully's life. He's an animal cruelty investigator by day. He's a dog MC by night. And this was going to be the show. And we originally intended it to be just a show about you. And Animal Planet liked it some, right? And they liked it enough that they wanted us to keep going. And then it became, okay, what can we do with you someplace else? Because they didn't want to be in Atlanta. And then that led us to, I think when we looked at Charlotte, we looked at a couple other cities, and then we landed we landed in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah. Where was the Black Lives Matter when that thing came on? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if BLM had been around, I'd be super rich right now. Can you imagine, like, BLM, are you telling me no? Really? That's what you're gonna do?
Jesus. Yeah, seriously.
But, hey, I'm just saying. I mean, it's a little early. But anyway, Black Lives Matter aside, it cost me my whole career. It was a good thing, but we went to Charlotte. I remember Charlotte turned us down because they were having actually the Republican primaries. Remember, they had the big Republican convention coming in, and they didn't want to touch anything that could be semi-controversial. Right. And we were like, how is this controversial? Like, we're literally fighting animal cruelty. It's a great look for your city. They turned us down. Atlanta was just, at the time, was in a total change of political things. And that was the first time I realized how much city politics came in to be. Yep. And we tried Birmingham, and I remember getting the call saying, you know what? We got one more city, Bully. Go down there, talk to the people, work your charm, see what you can do. It's kind of on you. Go down there. And I remember going down there, and the city of Montgomery, to this day, every time I go down there, there's so much love down there. There's so much.
That's nice.
They really love their animals, and they wanted that show so badly.
So bad. They wanted that show.
Yeah, they wanted it. Yeah. They would have given me anything. Well, they would have given me the keys to the city. I mean,
Bully, they did give you. They let you carry a gun.
Yeah, they did. It's
They did
Alabama,
give you the key.
though.
They did give you the keys to the city. Let you carry a
Yeah,
gun.
it was Alabama. They definitely let me point it at things. There were no bullets in there.
Well, maybe we should relive this idea.
Well, okay. So here's what I will say as a big
maybe.
tease on our on Rapid Reality on our platform. Bully and I and Tia possibly we are actually going to do a very special presentation. We are going to We're going to I don't know. We're going to air the pilot. I'm going to pull it out of the. We're going to pull it out of the archives, and we at a future date, and we will air the pilot. And Bully, you and I can revisit it, talk about it.
Oh wow!
It'll be a special Pipples Parolees in a producer episode only about the Bully and Sugar show.
Wow!
Oh my gosh!
We'll relive Sugar Time.
Yeah,
I really never really liked the Sugar Time thing.
I know there are a lot of things Sugar did that you didn't like.
It was very weird.
But that was part of the fun.
Yeah, it was like Lethal Weapon, but backwards. Like if Danny Glover was Mel Gibson and I was, I'm more of a male guy.
The challenge that we had with that show, and honestly, we will revisit this at a future date, is that the problem you and Bully, we had a problem. As a producer, it was a great problem, but as a viewer, it was a difficult problem because you guys were investigating animal cruelty. But together, you guys were funny as fuck. And it was just so much good chemistry, so much funny. I remember sitting there with you guys, and at one point we were talking, and I was like, "Oh, which one of you guys is Batman?" And you guys did a 20-minute riff on who should have been Batman, and and neither of you wanted to be Batman, and somebody wanted to be Iron Man, and it was like all over the place. But
clearly, I was Batman.
Totally.
And Sugar was just some guy. You know what I'm saying?
Sugar was like Alfred, maybe.
There was not a lower point in my life than when I went somewhere and someone said, "Hey, Sugar Hill." Who the hell cares? who the hell cares that I know Sugar Hill? I made Sugar Hill, damn it.
Yes,
that's what I felt like. But no. He's, you know what? He was a good guy.
He's a great guy. Yeah.
He was a guy that really. Again, you talk about meeting people from a show and from dogs. These dogs have taken me places that I never thought that they would go. You know what I'm saying? My mom will tell you, my brother's an attorney. He knew what he wanted to be since he was 2 years old. And I was always, I think I'm going to do radio. I think I'm going to be an astronaut. I think I'm going to be, the first president. Damn you, Obama.
Right.
And then it was unique. But these dogs took me to meet people like yourself. I never thought I would meet producers or Tia or anything. I never thought I would go to someone's home that has a bear in a cage, but white people do weird shit. So it was kind of cool. There's a show for you right there. White people do shit. But no, it was
Bully, I think there's a whole network dedicated to that. I think, there's a whole bunch of them.
There may be, but you know what? It was so welcoming. And it wasn't just Tia. It was the twins. It was Mariah and Tanya. And to this day, it's always, hey, there's my brother. It doesn't matter what's going on. And that's what I believe in. I believe in authentic relationships, whether you're talking about with animals or with people. It should be, I always say the best friendships are like your dog. You can be gone for 2 weeks and come home and your dog's going to greet you like you've been gone forever. Or you can be gone for 3 minutes in some cases and your dog is going to greet you like that. And the best of friends that you meet are going to greet you the same. After a year of not talking, one conversation is 2 hours of laughter and love. Yeah. And I believe that dogs taught me that. And when I have a close relationship like I have with Tia and yourself, there's memories and you don't forget those memories. So you can ask me a million times what happened when we did that episode about the fundraiser. There's so many parts of it that I remember and I cherish. And a lot of people don't know. Am I going?
You're jumping ahead. Like I have.
Bully, you have a script. He has a script.
I have a format.
Okay.
No, I was.
He's a producer.
Do you remember? Okay, the one thing Bully. Do you remember our favorite meal in Montgomery, Alabama?
Oh my God, we're still in Montgomery.
At Chris's Hot Dogs.
Well, no. Okay, not our favorite. Our the weirdest meal.
I know you're not talking about the tuna in the car, bro.
No, I'm talking about the Italian joint. Remember the Italian joint across from the hotel that we stayed at?
Oh, yeah.
And their idea of an Italian salad was they brought out salad and it had meatballs on it and spaghetti sauce on the salad.
Yeah, that was good. That was delicious. That person is a genius. Whoever did that was
the hell?
A genius person. That was a genius. Everything evolving around Pipples and Parolees has some type of food in it.
Yes.
Whether it be when I went out to California and I ate at the most dusty gas station ever. I'm talking about all their food at the Cactus came from 1973. I mean, the expiration dates, it just was unimportant.
Totally.
I thought I was drinking purple Gatorade, and it was actually Dasani water. It was just, I thought it was a purple Gatorade. It just came dark like that.
Okay. So, all right. So let me get into let's get into the nitty gritty of the episode while we're all here.
Okay.
Really quick. So, Bully, you will laugh, but I am trying to will us into having a sponsor. I always say that we don't actually have a sponsor yet, but I keep saying that we're sponsored by Chewy. And don't forget your $100 order, free shipping. So Chewy, where are you?
If they haven't answered your call for help now, they ain't gonna. So we may as well go back to my other idea, and that's let me hit up my friends in the porn industry.
Tia, we're making progress. We're making progress. Anyway,
we're making progress.
All right. So we've introduced our guest. Yes. Okay. So the statistics on this episode. So the title of this episode, probably, Tia, you're going to barf, so stand by. The title of the episode was Saving Tia Torres.
Oh, my God. You fucking kidding me?
Where's my cape at?
The episode originally aired on January 8th, stand by, 2011.
Okay.
So a while ago, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay, so the episode description.
Right?
So this is how the episode was described in the TV guide, in the TV guide kind of thing. So when Villalobos is invaded by a swarm of bees and Tia is faced with the cost of having the hive removed, Mariah and Tanya suggest throwing a fundraiser for the ranch. Believing that fundraisers are more work than they're worth, Tia tells the girls they're on their own and hopes for the best. Meanwhile, Mondo calls in Tia when rescuing a pit bull mother and her litter of puppies turns out to be too much for the parolee to handle by himself. So, no mention of you, Bully. Sorry.
Exactly. That's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm waiting at any point in the tagline that the most important thing happened.
Yeah,
and now I was nothing.
At this point, no. That's not true. Come on. What is it? There's no small parts, only small actors?
That was a pretty damn small part. That was a non-mentioned part.
No. Okay. Anyway. All right. So let's jump into the memories of all this. So what, Tia, I mean, at the time, this was sort of, we were winding down season 2. We knew it was we had sort of gotten a hold of the show. I think we'd gotten a hold of the show. And the bees thing naturally came up, and it was kind of a nutty, I mean, I remember this is the craziest thing in the world. All the bees.
That's when those killer bees came to our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it except I wanted to throw up. It was disgusting.
And then the idea of the fundraiser, I mean, honestly, that was there was something, I remember there was a whole thing with the car, and the car broke down. There's
so much dirt behind this fundraiser.
So much episode. I know.
Can't wait to get into it.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
I mean, how important? Okay, but we do actually this episode we do showcase another bully event. That's where we meet. Bully sort of enters the fray, so to speak.
Today at the fundraiser, my job is to make sure the crowd is happy, make sure things are moving, and basically just help the girls raise money for Villalobos.
I mean, we'd seen Bully in another episode. Is very quick, but really gets highlighted at a bully event in LA. How important to you back then were the bully events for fundraising for you guys? Like, was it very much a big lifeline back then?
No, they did. They did help out. They raised a lot of money for us. They did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Bully, and how receptive Bully was. I mean, at the time, do you remember how important was the show in your world? Like, in sort of like, how did people view the show? How did people view, oh my God, there's a show for us now?
Well, the first thing you got to realize is the climate back then is you're coming fresh off of Michael Vick still. You're coming off of, me and T have talked about this before, the changing of the image of the American Pit Bull Terrier. If you start off as the nanny dog, I think it went from being a nanny dog, the all-American dog, to public enemy #1, to now this rescued meek animal that people think every single one, is a rescue case. And it's so different. But at that time, you were coming straight away from Michael Vick, the pit bull being a villain, and you had this lady who was going in there basically to the general public, whether we want to admit it or not, basically dealing with wild animals and saving them from wild human beings. And the climate was so different because the news changed. It was like, it felt like overnight now when you say 2011, because at the time we were dealing with BSL every day. We were dealing with BSL in cities everywhere. So when Tia got pit bulls and parolees, that was the first time there was a voice to say, hey, you know what? We're going to stop this discrimination against this breed. We're going to stop the discrimination against the people that own them. We're going to realize that bad people own good dogs, and we're going to help them. So when pit bulls and parolees came up, it was the first time that anybody who had this breed of dog was able to sit there and publicly say, that's a pit bull on TV. And you can talk about the little rascals and all that stuff, but let's be honest, half the people didn't know he was a pit bull half the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just a bulldog. And that was kind of where I think it changed. And Tia being out there with that show, and the Animal Planet stepping up and doing a show for pit bulls, it was unheard of. And little did you know, I mean, looking in hindsight now, how many seasons it's been, they were going to stretch that thing out. But I guess it's easy when you're canceling Bully and Sugar to fill up space. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It was a great time, and everybody, I think Tia will tell you at those Bully shows, it drove her crazy because she was Beyonce. I mean, she would walk in and it would be a swarm of people. You know, I mean, I was like a member of the Destiny Child, not one that got to stay in the group, but I was there. So it was cool. It was really cool to see someone that was on TV that would come out. She wasn't fake. She never had this giant Hollywood trailer or anything, or too good, or didn't. It was like pay your way. And then her kids.
She had an RV, but it was like a 1976 broken down RV that she showed up.
Yeah,
it wasn't like the nice, you know.
Well, back then I didn't have one. I just had my
that's
rickety
true.
old van.
No,
That's true. Right.
My old van.
But yeah, so I mean, before we get into the fundraiser, let's talk a little bit about Roxy Mama, because Roxy Mama became a very sort of like, I mean, the story became one of the most highly recognized favorite stories of in the history of the show, and this is where it all starts.
Mondo's ex-girlfriend Jamie tried to rescue Roxy and her puppies on her own, but once she got them home, the mother dog began to act aggressively.
What do you remember about doing that rescue with Mondo, like when it first came up?
I mean, let's face it, you know, she had a litter of puppies. She was left in a backyard. We didn't know the whole story behind her, and she was super aggressive, you know, jumping up at the fence, trying to bite my arm. You know, once I got her out and got her over to the ranch, the behavior continued. And, you know, again, we get it. She had puppies. But, you know, once the puppies were taken away, we got them homes. She still continued to act like that.
Right.
And it was to the point where I was the only one that went in to clean her kennel and feed her, but she was not very welcoming even to me. And this went on for like a good year and almost a year and a half of having her, and she did not get any better. Like I said, I could get in the kennel, but it was not where I didn't turn my back on her. I mean, honestly, I didn't hold out a whole lot of hope for her.
Right. Yeah.
Because she was not improving at all. And I mean, we did everything to accommodate her. We moved her away from all the other dogs, you know, no people around her. She could see out everywhere. We did everything we could to accommodate, to, you know, hopefully have the behavior improve. So yeah, it got to the point where I was going to have to start making some decisions, you know, about her, because she wasn't adoptable.
Right. True. I mean, and then really quick, Tia, I mean, like bees. I mean, it's funny because I remember when we did this episode and the bees became a thing. I remember this just annoyed you that we put so much focus on the bees.
It still does annoy me. I'm annoyed even talking about bees right now.
Is it just that, I mean, I remember everyone was just fascinated because it looked like such the creepy, crawly, crazy, you know. And it was
I think what did it for me is that I didn't realize there's a whole bee movement. Like there's people that are so into bees.
Right.
I'm over here, torch the motherfuckers.
What do you want to do with them?
Torch them.
Well, those are not nice bees.
I will burn that mother down.
So what do you want to do with them, Mariah?
You can call someone and they can smoke them out or something.
Smoke them out. Where do they go?
I don't know. They may
You want to get them a new home?
And people are like, oh my God, no, you can't. They're bees. I'm like, all I know is they chase us around and sting us and bite us.
Yeah.
And so when that beekeeper, remember the beekeeper?
Brian the bee guy.
He was Gandhi of the bees.
They're not attacking. They look like calmer bees.
Do.
Do bees smell fear? I don't know. But Brian had no problem with him.
He was giddy. He was like so excited for the bees.
Yeah, he was Gandhi of the bees. He was just like the way he spoke about the bees.
We've been very fortunate. We got the queen, so we'll be putting her in a hive tonight.
The bees will find a happy home and the people here will be happy.
The queen. Do you want to meet the queen? Like, what is this?
Bully.
Yes, that's how he.
Bully.
That's how he talked.
Oh, he was
I'm
like, yeah, no, it was.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I learned something. There's a whole bee movement.
Yes, there is. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about this fundraiser because I have a good story too. Like I have a good behind the scenes story.
Oh,
but
I can't wait.
I'm sure it's nothing compared to what you guys got.
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, so it was at a place up in Canyon Country, up by Agua Dulce, and it was, I would say production helped the girls a little, not much. They did plan the majority of it themselves. But other than that, it was what happened was what happened. So, all right, you guys got dirt.
This is the one. This is the one where a car was being donated. Correct? Yes.
It was. You know what?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
I didn't know how behind the scenes we were gonna go. Like I didn't know if we were going to the back room or we're going to the
back
part of the
room, back parking lot.
Oh man, we're going to the back room with a hidden door.
This is this was the woodshed. We got taken to the woodshed.
Ooh.
Yep.
This was brutal.
It was
brutal.
So okay, so the backstory. I will tell the backstory of what happened, and then I will let you two take over from what.
Wait, are you going to steal our thunder?
No, I'm just going to explain that one of the things of the fundraiser was there was going to be a car that was donated to you by an adopter. Right? By a former adopter who we discussed on a previous episode.
Oh, did you guys? I missed that episode?
Yeah, well,
no, just a little bit of it.
Yeah,
just a little bit of it.
Yeah. And so, and then the car donation went a little off the rails.
A little.
Whoa.
That's all. That's all I'll say. That's so now this is where I will hand the mic, so to speak.
I'm sure you know we are talking about our friend Jesse.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember all the details of it. Maybe you should start about him because I have my take on what he did for the fundraiser. And then, of course, I don't know when we'll be discussing it in a future episode. Of course, then we had to go back and rescue the dog, re-rescue the dog.
Yeah. You know what? It's a key component. May my father rest in peace. It was something he taught me a long time ago. It was never overpromise, always overdeliver. And people get ahead of themselves and they say, hey, you know what? I'm going to change the world and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And they don't have the means to do it. And I don't understand logically because my mind doesn't work in this narcissistic fashion where you can understand how someone can utilize something good and turn it into something selfish. You know what I'm saying? But this episode, we were out there and I'm like, wow, this show's going to blow up because we're doing amazing things at this fundraiser. It would be one thing if they were giving you like a 1983 Toyota Corolla and, nobody wants it and we're going to fix it up. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys listening right now, Tia Torres would take it. If you were going to give her something and you're like, you can fix it up. The twins would be out there. They would fix it up. They would do whatever. But someone says we're going to donate a car, not any car, but we're talking about, was it a Suburban?
Brand new, brand new off the lot. I have friends who are dealers for dealerships. We're going to get you a brand new SUV.
And by the way, as the producer, we're like, we thought this is going to give us such a great capper to this story. We're told it's coming, it's happening, it's on the truck, they're donating it, get the cameras ready. Here we go.
It's coming. It's in Texas.
It's coming. It's coming. It's on the way.
Who knows? He ended up. He was an adopter at the time, and so he was going to come in and save the day. I had a broken down van all the time. He was going to get this brand new SUV. Blah 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 blah. So mind you, we're preparing for this fundraiser, and we're being told it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So I take that for granted. Day of the fundraiser. Okay. I'm like, great, you know, and we're doing our thing. Bully's doing his thing.
First and foremost, we want to thank everybody for coming out right now to the Villalobos Rescue Center fundraiser.
I think we dunked Mariah in the dunk tank, or, you know, okay, so do all this stuff.
Then gave Parolees the dog tags. This was the first time we had the Parolee dog tags.
Right. And I believe, if my memory serves me right, it was a white SUV. I can't remember the make.
It was a Bully was right. It's a big Suburban, because at the time, Tia, remember you had that blue broken down Suburban, and this was in a sense to replace that car.
Right. So in comes, now mind you, our adopter Jesse was not there.
Nope.
I forgot what excuse he used for not being able to be there.
Correct.
But don't worry, the car is coming, and I'm assuming it's coming. And in comes the white Suburban. Oh my God, I'm beyond. Oh my God, it's real. I'm so excited. And they're filming me. And I go and get inside, Tia. And I go inside and I'm looking at things, and I open up the glove box. And I remember looking in and seeing car rental paperwork.
Hurts. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I went,
oh my God.
Yeah. And I remember kind of like lifting it up and seeing that it was rented to our production company. I'm like, what is going on here?
Hold on. It was not rented to the production company. Production didn't rent it.
Who rented it? Oh, okay. A producer whose name we won't mention. Okay.
A producer who got over his skis, as they like to say.
Okay. So my bad. Correction. It was rented by a producer.
Yes.
And I started to think, what's going on here? And I remembered pulling my shirt out a little bit and like, I need to talk to production now. Yeah, but I said it.
Oh, you're giving the nice version.
Yeah. I did it in a way that like nobody else heard. Yeah.
It was 911.
Anyone within 5 blocks was like, oh,
yeah.
That's it. And I gotta say, you know what? I had a different thing, because we're talking about the bully world. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there representing the bully world. This adopter, Jesse, was one of those people that was in both. So I'm calling him. Producers are calling him. You're calling him. And we're all getting the same rigmarole. Like, yo, it's on its way. And I'm like, yo, bro, I remember saying on the phone, yo, if it's not coming, you need to let me know. We need to do some damage control, because I'm out here with cameras in my face right now. Because I don't know how TV works at this point. I'm thinking at any minute the cameras are going to turn to me like, yo, where's your friend? And I would have to really define the word friend at that point.
Right.
And I was like, Tia
and
goes
the thing
to
is,
the car.
we were both in the dark because we didn't know.
Yep.
We didn't know. We thought this
I
was
had to give
Jesse's
the big
car.
spill, remember?
Yes.
Remember?
No.
Yes.
And now we got another big surprise for you, Tia, coming around the corner. Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It was,
and so it wasn't until then.
And by the and I would say, I think 90% of production, 90% of the producers, the crew, everybody was in the dark. Everyone thought Tia, they were right there. We were right there with you. We thought it was all real.
So let me finish. So
much respect for you, Tia. After
we go in the back room, and that's when it gets revealed to me that the car never showed up. That this donor Jesse was just bullshitting us the entire time, and that one of the producers did not want to blow the whole storyline, went out and rented this car and let me think it was mine.
And I remember when you found out, and this is where I'll tell people, there's a personal part of this, because when you're out there, you meet people, and you want to know how real reality TV is. You want to know how real these people are. Like, are they? And there's some that will be unnamed that I've met, have been on TV, that are not who they are. Well, Tia said, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing it. And I was like, in my mind, like, whoa, we're not going to do it. Like, this is a big part of the episode. At this point, I will, little side note, I was a little selfish thinking like, well, there goes my episode. Thanks a fucking lot, Jesse. Thanks a lot.
There's I got cut out off.
Mike Tyson had ruined it with the pigeon shit. Now there's never going to be a black man on Animal Planet again. And, she came out, forgive me, Mike, in case you do watch this, I want no trouble. At the same time, it was like, whoa. And she said, I'm not doing it. We're not going to do it. And I remember the producers looking around like, are we going to cut this whole part of the episode? It was unique. It was so wonderful how you did it, because in my mind, let's be honest, had it went a million people would have stepped up and bought a truck. Had you just came out and said what we're saying right now in the moment, and said, I had an adopter that royally screwed me here, you would have got 4 new Suburbans, because people would have literally came out. And the fact that you didn't use it for that, because you and I both know, Billy, you know, that's what would have happened. If someone knew that the pit bull goddess herself, Tia Torres, had been screwed like that, there would have been people buying trucks the next day. Because she didn't use it for that. And I remember thinking like, dang, I don't know which way I would have went in that moment, because it's embarrassing, it's damaging. And you know what? It's like, dang, you know what? You want to trust the good. Tia, I don't know how many people you met in your life that weren't good people. You know what I'm saying? But when you think someone's good and then they F you over, it hurts, bro. And that's what I saw on my friend's face that day. I saw Tia's face, and it was rage, but she was hurt. Like that was embarrassing. That was messed up.
The thing too is I hate to use this word. I didn't have enough power back then as far as the network. Like I was just starting. This is my own new show. So I didn't know to say, cut this out of the episode. I'm not doing this. You know, I just had to kind of go with the flow. So they kept it in the episode, making it, you know, look like I got a car. And it's funny you say what you said, Bully, because you're right. It actually backfired, because what was going on all over the internet. Oh my God, Tia got this expensive car. She doesn't get any donation.
It's not in the, we cut it out.
Yes, cut out.
Okay, well then, you know what? I don't know how people found out, because the people that
the people that were there, the people that were there. Because Tia, so you probably don't remember this, but
no, I don't remember shit.
Okay, so at the time. So this is at the time when I was transitioning from being the guy that was in story and post to being the showrunner. This was like right in the middle of that transition. And I remember this day and this moment, I remember you were yelling at Rasha.
Screaming.
You were screaming at Rasha.
Screaming.
Everybody who's been on this pod knows Rasha. I'm standing behind Rasha and then behind Dave Hale, who also worked for 44 Blue. And I'm standing there, and I remember I stepped forward, and I said to you, Tia, I promise. And this is probably one of the first times I'd actually talked to you, because because at the time I still was sort of getting my feet wet with being in production. I looked at you and I said, Tia, I promise we will not put this in the episode. And you looked at me and you nodded and you said, okay. And that was kind of the end of and that sort of diffused the situation. Then I think we actually went back. They took the car away. And if I remember correctly, we did the dog tags after the whole car bullshit.
Yep.
And so
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, to give Bully his moment from when he made this big announcement.
No, but I mean, I think that was the thing, that we sort of like, okay, all this is gone.
Yeah, because all I remember is that I got bombarded with emails, and people were posting all over social media saying that I got this car, and I'm like, wait, it's on the show? And so I just assumed that it was on the show, but it was just, you said, from people there putting it out there. And I'm like, no, I didn't get a car.
And Tia, actually, this was the beginning of me sending you, and just so everybody is aware, Tia watches every episode of the show. No, this was the beginning of that conversation. This was the beginning of that. You know, this was the very, very, I think it was the first episode, because I remember you and I had a lot of back and forth at that point. And you're like, prove to me you're not using it. And I sent you the cut, and I said, we didn't use it. I swear. And I think that was, but again, I will admit that I've fucked up from time to time over the years. But as we've always said, like, as long as you admit that you've fucked up, apologize, and try not to let it happen again, we're good.
But like I said, because it was so new in the show then, like, I didn't want to rock the boat. Like, nobody sent me any episodes. I just kind of went along with it. So like I said.
Let me tell you, I got to tell you, because I know you don't remember, because you've done hundreds of episodes. But as a person who's only done 2 or 3, I've got a pretty vivid memory. That was the day, and you may have felt that way, like you did not say enough. Oh, hell no. You said that day, we're not doing this.
Right.
You said it. I remember sitting there like, good God, this is it. Rasha had just spoke to me at the fundraiser about, hey, when you get back to Atlanta, we'd like to talk to you about doing a show. We're very interested in you. And I'm like, yeah, man, thank you. So wait, what's going on? I'm not doing this shit. I will be damned if this shit. Wait, no, Rasha. Yeah, I was like, don't look, man. I've got a 1985 beat up car. We can bring it out here. But no, you did stand up. And you know what? I know at the time you probably felt like, do I have power to do this? Because this is season 2, as you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you don't know that there's going to be 47 different seasons at the time, but you're like, hey, I'm not going to, you were very direct about it. And I remember we had a conversation afterwards and you were like, I can't believe he did this shit. I know. I mean, it was close. And Jesse was using big name motorcycle clubs that should have, that they would have been very upset, because he was throwing around their name. And they're behind this, and they've got
we're not talking motorcycle clubs that get together on the weekend.
No.
We're talking
Sons of Anarchy.
They're the ones, they caused the riot at the Rolling Stones concert way back when in the 60s.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. I just know they're good people, and they do a lot during Christmas time. Yeah. And I was like,
he was throwing those names around like he was buddy with them. Yeah, this guy was a piece of work, man. So it's because, again, I think that was the first episode where, I'm like, I said, I'm not doing this show unless everything stays absolutely real. And then you come at me with this fake ass car that is not even mine. Like, I think I said, fuck you guys.
Yeah, and I knew it didn't go to episode because there was no way. Because there's no way you're going to roll up in a 2011 Suburban. People are going to be looking for you. You're not a Hollywood person that you go drive by at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You're out in the street. And if you didn't have it, people were going to ask. Right. So it wasn't something that could be faked. You couldn't fake it. Yeah. And then there was the other side, as you said, I'm sure, because I heard it. And man, we don't need to give her any money. Look, she's getting free cars. She's getting this.
Yeah.
She's getting
that's
this.
what I was getting. That's what I was getting.
Yeah, it was definitely that way. There were so many people that told me that Pitbulls and Parolees, those people are rich. I've heard it a million times. Those people are rich. You guys are doing this, bully. You know that. I'm like, listen, until you walk the grounds and you see the dogs and you see the influx, and it's not about the dogs that are there, it's about the dogs that are coming. That's what I spoke to a school one time and they were asking me about the rescue problem, and I never claimed to be a big rescue person. I always say, when you look at the dogs that are there, please understand that there's twice as many standing outside. You know what I'm saying? It's like a VIP club. Villalobos is VIP. You're in VIP. There's a long line of people trying to get into the club, and every time someone leaves, 2-3 more people come in. That's the ever revolving door of animal rescue, especially pit bull rescue. It's something that when you said this was going to be your mission, I said, I hope this redhead lady knows this is a lifelong mission. There ain't no finish to this. You know what I'm saying? This is the never ending. What's the name of the story, Billy? I know you're going to know. The guy pushing the rock up the hill and then it rolls back down. He's got to keep pushing it up. And that's his definition of hell. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know it's a Greek myth. I can't remember his name.
It's a Greek myth, and you push the boulder all the way up the hill, and you're about to push it over, and then it rolls back down.
I'm not. You're putting me on the spot, and I don't know. Sorry.
See,
I don't remember.
We got fans.
I let you down, Bully. I let you down. Sorry. Okay, so I have a fundraiser story. So do you know, Tia, by the way, that this episode was the most expensive episode of one of the most expensive episodes of Pitbulls and Parolees ever made?
Cut it. Really? Cut the film. Cut it right now. Everyone's going to say, that's what happens when you bring Bully on.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
For the appearance?
So production did what? Because Bully got paid in peanuts and Gatorade, I think. Okay. No, but so production did help a little bit with, like, we brought some tables and chairs and things like that. And so for the day, we had rented a cube truck. So for anybody that doesn't know what a cube truck is, it's basically like a U-Haul van, whatever. And so we'd hired a bunch of extra PAs, production assistants, who were there to sort of help move things around and then also get releases from all the people there. They signed, I give you my permission to sign a release. So at the end of the day, we're loading up, and one of the PAs that we had hired for the day it's his job to drive the cube truck now down back into LA, back to the office. The area where we were parked was a kind of converted wood. It was basically a wooded area. The PA backs the truck up over a tree stump.
Oh boy!
A tree, and cuts a hole in the transmission.
Oh, like a big tree stump. Like
an actual tree stump, and then driving down Canyon Country back to the 14 freeway from where we were, like windy, twisty roads. The cube truck caught fire.
I didn't any of this.
The cube truck catches fire, burns down to the tires. Gone.
Wait, the whole truck?
Whole truck gone.
How did I not know this stuff?
So basically, this episode we destroyed a cube truck.
That kind of beats the fake suburban story.
It's a good story. I was like,
I did not. How did I not get told this?
I don't know. I mean, production. We have fucked up some cars and vehicles a lot in this for the show, but this one it was epic. And I remember the next day I came into the office and I got pulled into not Rosh's office, but there was the money people. And he's like, Billy, are you aware there was a cube truck? And I said, yeah. And he said, do you know what happened to it? And I was like, well, the PA drove it back and he returned it. He goes, no, it is now a torched carcass lying on the side of the road up in Canyon Country. I have to call production. I have to call our insurance company and tell them that we burned a truck to the ground. I'm like, you're welcome.
That's great.
Yes.
That is amazing. I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of but you didn't know this story either that happened that episode was.
Oh boy.
This is the first time you realize that producers, you guys are not realistic people. I don't know if y'all are in the real world or y'all live in some little creative
what are you
bubble.
talking? No, well,
So
Bully,
they're
we live in an idealized dream world. Every producer's brain has they have in their brain, I think this is the way it's going to go. And I hope, in the idealized version, it's going to go so well, nothing's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and you guys have this like fake bulletproof bubble around you when you go into the real world. So I was there and they said, we need to get Bully at a Bully show. Is there one going on? And I said, oh, well, yeah, there's one going on. It's in Watts. Oh, we'll go down there. And I'm like, no, we don't really need. This is when I first heard the role B-roll. I didn't know what this was. We just need to get some B-roll. They made it sound perfectly safe, perfectly normal. We're just getting some B-roll. So we go down to the show, and it's a big show, and it's in South Central Los Angeles.
I remember I was there with you.
It's real. Of course
you went to Watts?
Yeah.
It was close to Watts. It was either right next to Watts. It was in the hood.
No, I mean Billy.
But wasn't it Long Beach? It wasn't Long Beach. It was Watts.
No, it was closer to Watts. I'd never been there, never been back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we brought the girls. Because the whole idea was
the girls were there
promoting the fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God they were there because we walk in. I'm from Atlanta, as Billy said earlier, the ATL. So when you're in the ATL, you don't have a lot of pull in Los Angeles. Like they don't really care. And there's a lot of gangbangers in the Bully world at the time. It's not like what you see now, families and cotton candy. And we go in and they're like, we're going to stop the whole show. Bully, we need you to throw some things out. We need to stop the show. We need to get everyone to cheer.
Villalobos is in the building. They got a fundraiser going down. I want LA to show the love y'all got for the biggest pit bull rescue in the world. Make some noise, Los Angeles.
And these gangbangers were looking at me like, we don't give a damn. Who are you, P. Diddy? We don't give a shit. Keep the show going. I'm literally like, yo, y'all, man, look. Producers coming through with cameras, following me through a bunch of gangbangers with the cameras on me, walking with Mariah and Tanya.
And your scarf.
And we're literally...
Bully was big into
scarf.
Big into the scarves back then.
Yeah, that scarf definitely let them know I was not from LA. And they were cursing me out, and we got a pretty good ovation, but it was not what we should have got. They were so pissed off, and when it was done, and that was a scary thing. For a long time, I heard about me thinking I'm bigger than everybody, and I just walked through and shut down shows and F him. It was.
Is that the one where they were like really like everybody? Like, the one that Tanya and I said they were super bad to them.
They were mad, because it was a different crowd. It wasn't a crowd I had a lot of control over. And we had to stop the show to get what the producers needed. You know what I'm saying? And they did not give a shit. They was like, nope, we need it over here. Hey, some of you guys move over here. Hey, don't walk in front of Bully. The camera's coming. You step back, please. Everyone. There's gang signs behind Billy's back. I'm just sitting there with my scarf. I'm trying to speak into the mic.
I think at one point, Bully, you turned to me like, dude, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. We're done. You done?
Go.
We done. Yeah, I think you're like,
done.
you done? We done. We out. Yeah, like.
Is you finished or is you done? Is you finished or is you done? Because we are one of the other. But it was a fun time. But it was definitely where I realized producers do. Then when we did my show, I realized that producers really don't care about what's going on. Y'all got.
They have blinders. They have blinders.
Wait, hold on. I'm getting this is.
You wanted me to go underneath the house
I'm taking shots
with a dog. There was a rabid dog.
No, rabid cow.
Let me tell you,
This
is how producers are. Producers are like this. Okay.
You have to go wrangle a cow in the middle of the road.
This is the producer. You'll be like, oh, look, we got a loose Maltese over here. I'll go get it. No. We hear there's a call. 4 rabid Rottweilers out there. Bully, jump out. Pretend that you get them. Okay, I jump out. I pretend like I'm getting them. I'm running away. Get back in. Oh, we didn't get that. We're going to need you to go back in. Do that again. This time be a little closer to his face. You know, and I'm like... Producers are real.
Okay, some of these stories.
I can't wait to show this episode.
I know there are some stories. My favorite story.
There are things that didn't make it. Remember we went into the hoarder house and the lady had her nipplage out. She didn't even cover up. and Bully, go in there. They like you. What? I don't like me at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like I have children, bro. You sent me in there, bro. I still can't breathe. That's why I didn't get COVID because I went into that hoarder house. I'm immune to a lot of stuff now. Syphilis, COVID, I can't get anything. You know what I'm saying? You just walk into one hoarder situation and you're safe for life. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, go ahead. I apologize. I digress.
All right. Okay. So let me get this back on track. So, okay.
I'm crying.
Yeah. All right. So actually, you know what? Screw all this. Okay. So we don't really. So Bully, I have a whole bunch of formatting things. I'm not.
No.
Tia's over all of them. Whatever.
No.
Okay. But Tia, okay, here's what I'm going to give you. So I do give Tia what I call the time machine moment. This I'm going to give you. So so this is an opportunity. So if you could get in the DeLorean, hop back in time, is there anything you would have done differently for this episode? And here's the thing. You can't say the car because the car didn't get featured. So we didn't. That's not the show.
Yeah,
you know what?
That's true.
I would have wanted to have given a little bit more heartfelt speech about how important Tia and the girls were and the sacrifices they've given in their life for other people's happiness. And I know people think that sounds weird, but when you save dogs, that's just the first part. When you place dogs in forever homes, that is really, really inspirational. I tell people saving dogs is just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Finding them the right home, the forever home, that's the hard shit. And they've done that time and time again. And I wish in my speech, I was able to dictate that a little bit better and let people really know how much I appreciate what y'all do. And that comes from someone who's bred dogs before. You know what I'm saying? It really does. If people look deeper, it's a lot deeper than just taking a dog off the street, washing him, giving him a bowl of food. It's so much more deeper when you're saving souls. And I wish if I could go back in that time machine, I would be able to say that. And that's a little deep coming off of the hoarder house, but that's how I feel about it.
But here's the thing. But Bully, even if you had the producers would have told you, okay, you're going a little long, wrap it up. You know, you wouldn't have been.
Oh, you're right. You know what? They're like, it would have been cut anyway down to, and we have Tia. Yeah. That would have been all you got.
I don't have any time machine moment.
Okay.
I can't even remember certain things make it on the show or not because it was so long ago. You were going to ask me a time machine moment?
You know what? And I don't know if you guys can say this, but I'm going to assume.
Say it anyways.
I'm going to say this. That episode of people really remembering Tia, I'm going to remind you and Billy, and I know we're all strapped for time here. It was so much going on. And that's what people don't know.
So much.
It was
so much.
The fundraiser. It was the fire.
Yeah.
You know, like
Fire was another episode. Bully was around.
It was a different episode.
But it was the time.
Time.
Yes, at the time. Yeah. Yes, we had. There was. I mean, and then you had. There's and in the midst of all this, there was. Do you remember Tia? Lacey got adopted by that family who had a band, and they came and they were the band at the event.
I know. Everything was just intertwined.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing.
But we can't put it all on one episode, so we have to stretch it out, you know?
Yeah, it was like, where is Waldo? And that one, I always call my episode the movie episode. It could have been a movie because there was that many things going on. And I remember leaving thinking, this is fucking crazy. Because it wasn't just a fire. It was also Kern County at the time was going on real heavy about y'all needed to go. And it was like so much I think I was only there for 72 hours. That's how crazy, if people really wanted to know how crazy Villalobos can be, is I got there and it was like 72 hours. And then there were the fires in the mountains. It was like literally, why am I in California? That's how I felt. Like these people are insane. I want to pet the bear. I don't want to touch the bear. I want to go. Everything is dusty. Where are we at? There's people running around, people hiding. Remember, we were bringing the dogs in cars, and there were people laying on the floorboards with the car. What's the little kid's name? Rico or somebody?
Yeah.
He didn't have a seat. He's sitting there, and man, I look. I could give you a whole novel of what I saw and why I realized I was not built to be a rescuer. I needed someone to rescue me. I was like,
I mean, the fire episode is the next episode we're going to talk about, Bully.
Oh, I won't be here, but I got to say
you won't be here, but yes, that is one of the sort of unknown little secrets of the episode was Bully was actually at the fire.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, guys. Now, if you've never worked, whoever you've had as a boss that you thought was tough, you don't understand tough until you work next to Tia Torres and there's a disaster. Because she does not give a shit about your qualifications. She doesn't give a fuck about your endurance. Hey, you, get that hose. Grab that dog. Get a shovel of pea gravel. Scoop it in there. Wait a minute. I'm in Jordan. Do it now. We don't have time. Either do it or get the fuck out of here. Wait a minute. Wait, what? I'm just a special guest.
Bully's like, wait, where's my ride to the airport? Wasn't it
there was no Uber back then. It wasn't Uber.
No Uber.
No Uber.
Just stick me in a car with some parolee that I don't know. Where were you in? I'm asking all the wrong questions. Like, what were you in for? How long were you there? Did you get to talk to your mom while you were locked up? No one asked those questions, Bully. Oh, my bad. No, what is a wood? I remember that. What is a wood? That's a white people. I never called anyone a wood in my. Yeah, I remember this. I learned a lot lot things.
Yeah, Peckerwood.
Yeah, they're like, we're the wood.
Peckerwood.
I'm a wood. You didn't know? I didn't know what that was. I'm like, oh, interesting. But it was a great time, man, and I love that we can laugh and we can joke, and it is such a serious thing and such a blessing to have been able to be part of that show and to make lifelong friends. And
you ain't going anywhere because you're stuck with us now.
I know. So actually, that leads me to the other reason that Bully's here. Tia, do you and Bully want to tease a little bit about what you guys are going to be doing on?
Yeah, real quick, because I have barking hounds in the background.
Yes.
Yes, Bully and I will be hosting a new web series and podcast called Man's Best Frenemy. It's going to be kind of investigative docuseries on dealing with people who, what's the right word, use dogs for their own financial well-being in the course of mistreating them, abusing them, you name it. So I think the first few series segments are going to be about unscrupulous and abusive dog trainers, because that's kind of where the path is taking us. So yeah, it's going to be pretty in your face.
In your face. I'm excited about it.
That is coming. That is coming very soon to the Rabid Reality Network. This show and and others. So this episode of Pitbull's Parolees and a Producer was produced by Candace Cobett and Amanda Moser. Candace, pop on, say hi.
That's not Candace.
That's Moser.
Okay. Yeah.
Candace, and also both of them sporting our merch. Tia, what do you think?
But they have to say something. I can't see them. They need to pop back up.
Well, Bully, you gotta you're on your phone. You gotta swipe.
First of all, I'm in the studio. Let's not pretend like I'm on my phone here. So it fell down. And see how he outed me? Like you're on your phone. Like, what the hell, man? I'm in the studio.
Learn how to use Zoom, Bully. Come on.
I got a prop here. I got a prop. I got nipples in the background.
You got nipples in the background. I know that absurd looking. That's strange.
All right.
Look at him. Look at Amanda. Amanda's looking at this like, what life decisions did I fail at that I'm here with these people? What did I do wrong?
Moser has had many where's my life gone?
We got some Moser stories.
Yeah.
We got some Moser stories. What I've done to this poor girl throughout this entire journey of the show. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Keeps life exciting.
She
looked at me like, when I came on, like, oh God, another one of Tia's weird friends. Who's this one?
Yeah. So.
But I look different than most of her friends, right?
Yes.
And my Tinder profile looks accurate. I wouldn't catfish them. Where's the other producer at?
Candace.
Candace,
she's here.
right there.
She's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Candace is here.
Oh, I gotta scroll one more on my my big screen. Hold on. I'm sorry. There we go. All right.
So Candace and Moser are both sporting our merch. Amanda's in the Pipples, Parolees, and a Producer shirt, and Candace is in our Rabid Reality shirt. Now, Tia, how do you get one of those? How do you get those shirts?
Well, you can buy them if you want, but I mean, the best way is to get them for free when you join my online platform, and you can get all that information on. Shut up! You can get all that information on my new website, myrapidreality.com, and it'll point you to all the different platforms that have to do with this. Sorry about the screaming, but it's Patsy wants out.
All right.
Her name is Patsy Cline, but I call her Patsy Cunt. Because
that is definitely not allowed.
No, it is.
That's the man with a nipple-y looking painting behind him.
Listen, nipple and the C word. The C word might be the worst word in America.
I am Irish. I can use the word cunt.
I don't even know. Thing. I don't know all the Irish rules. I'm going to be looking that up tonight.
I think it's a thing. I just made that up.
All right, that's it.
Okay.
Billy just looks 2 shades brighter red now.
I know. I think I need to end this now. So thanks everybody.
Cancel culture is real.
Come on! I am not bully.
No.
Hey.
Hey. I already said ATL earlier. I'm gonna have to explain that one at the football game in like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Anyway. All right. Thank you everybody for joining us on this episode of Pipples, Parolees, and a Producer. Tia, thank you for joining us. Bully, see you soon, maybe.
Billy, yes, can you throw the peace sign for me one time just to fool the whole?
No.
The peace sign.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just wanted to see if you would do it.
Oh, yeah. No. And there's a chance that Bully and I may be co-hosting another podcast, but we're working on that.
Oh, definitely. Yep. Hey, we got to get that going. That's going to be good.
Oh,
in honor of Billy, Tia, we got to go back to 1983 and peace. Go ahead and say it. Billy, give it to us one time, Billy. No. All right.
Here, wait. How about this one, Bully? How about this?
That's perfect.
That's more his thing.
That's more my thing. All right. Thanks, everybody.
That's what his people do.
All right. See you next time. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.